shut you down at all turns. So EnVy have got to be feeling very frustrated with how that went on their CT side of Inferno. Going into Dust 2 now, it looks like EnVy will get the start on the CT side, Na'Vi on the T side. And I don't see any stop spam here going on, so it looks like we're going to get right into it. And already...
That is a game I would not play against Shocks if I was Guardian up on the other side. Like Deal versus USP as well, or P2000, it doesn't really matter. That would not be a fun game to play. Shoxy is like mad good, and well, yeah, thanks Shocks. That's exactly what he's so good at hitting these shots, and Guardian is already gone. More people want to step up and challenge the master of the pistol round. Definitely a bad idea. But now they've got like a three-way, like 3 different levels, in fact. Just firing a squad waiting, and that makes a lot of sense. And Shocks is super smart. He's just going to fall back and not play that game anymore. Now it's going to be Smiths and also NBK playing close. And NBK with a grenade right here coming up from behind. It was actually Happy taking up 1-2 with headshots, and more might be following here. Zeus is running out of bullets and running out of time as well. He's being wrapped around. He's alone as well. NBK takes out 1. Shoxy coming in for the final kill, and he will get it as well. Double for him, double for Happy. And EnVy with a very strong start here on Dust 2.
Holy hell, that timing, that push from Happy. We didn't get to see it from his perspective, but he just walked right out of the long house and completely cut out. Like, he just hamstrung Na'Vi there. Na'Vi just trying to, like, run one way, run the next, and Happy wasn't having any of that. He got 2 kills so quickly. But you got to give it to Shoxy as well. It takes 3 guys to lock down Shoxy. Like, Na'Vi are like, okay, that's enough. You know what? Just put everybody in mid, shut this guy out. And well, that's gonna be that's not gonna be the start that Na'Vi were looking for here. That puts EnVy up 1-0 now. And they managed to pick up the guns. Good healthy mix of SMGs and rifles and pistols on their part, whereas Na'Vi going straight up for the Tech 9 buy on their side. Guardian does have his scout to go with, but they're out of nades now, so it really is gonna come to just trying to catch somebody off guard here on Na'Vi's side.
And they're almost all playing in a position where that scout has to get really close. I mean, I guess if Goose, if he challenges here, that would be a thing. But I kind of wish they would just stay back here and let them get close. Nice push-up from NBK. Gonna steal the Tech 9 as well in the middle of that fight. Flamey and Guardian are left on the Na'Vi side, and if they can get in and get a bomb down, that would be huge right now. But Smiths is close. Bomb is going down, in fact, in front, so they're gonna allow that. EnVy and Flamey will pick up a kill. Smith's gotta be a little bit careful here. Gets the 1 kill, and it has to reload, so 4 bullets left. That's gonna be plenty, and Kiyoshima will help him out. Nice hold from EnVy. I mean, lose 2 people and the bomb goes down, so I mean, this is still a pretty good round for Na'Vi. EnVy don't lose too much either.
Yeah, and they do manage to pick up a couple of kills. NBK with the P90 though, so he's not going to get bonus money for kills with that SMG. But Keo does pick up 1 with the MP9, and Smiths, of course, you know, playing it really safe actually. I was expecting him to try and like YOLO up onto that site when he heard the bomb plant, but instead, basically because he didn't know where the second man was, he didn't show himself. He just sat there on the site and waited for his teammates to rotate in, basically going for a guaranteed retake scenario there. So great communication and patience showed by the EnVy players. Or should we say like restraint, essentially, because that's pretty much what it boils down to. Whereas now, Na'Vi are like, where's that restraint you were talking about, Sepler? They just naded us. Flamey down to 19 HP already, and a bullet from the P90 is going to do the job.
I mean, without a doubt, the funniest thing about what just happened is that Flamey got blown up and you said down to 19 health. When he tries to turn around to get back out of there, Seas and Zeus were actually blocking him. Like, they were just like, no, keep going. There's no escaping. Yeah, we're not going to allow you to go back. It was like he didn't do like a double take. Like, come on, guys. I'm just like, I'm bleeding to death here. No mercy at all, man. That's rough.
They're heartless, and Zeus the leader as well.
Yeah,
like, almost, no, you go forward.
I almost wish we could have had that on a replay or something. They're just like, yeah, look at Flame. He's like, no, there's no escape. I can't get out. I'll go back again, I guess. That's so sad. So sad. 4th round coming up. Guardian picks up the AWP, and that's what we expect to make the main difference. Although Smiths has 1 on the other side too, and we always bring it up as being quite strong on this map. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen like the truly nuts play from Smiths, but actually, the last couple of times they played this map, he's still been solid. Like, so I mean, you know, obviously the ultra level is great, but if you can just hit like a consistent level, that's also cool, and I think Smiths actually does that.
A pre-fire coming in from NBK. He shuts down the first man, holds down that mouse 1. He's got that incendiary as well. There's the timing from Edward. Once again, these trades going Na'Vi's way where they can catch you out of position. Although Smith comes through the smoke. Through the smoke, totally different angle, and completely catches Edward out. So that time around, the trades actually go EnVy's way, and now they get the control in the situation. They get to stop that Na'Vi push.
Wow, that looked so slow the way he aimed down into pit. Like, you know, he was operating a tank instead of a player. That was really interesting.
Oh, wow. And this is also something that EnVy are known for, Kiyoshima with the push through upper dark. This is big. That sets it up. Now they know that Guardian is going to be holding this angle. Molotov is going to force him out, perhaps. He's going to have to give ground and right into Keo's waiting arms, but Keo gets caught. He only gets the headshot on Flamey. That's not going to be good enough. This actually puts Envy in a bit of a tight spot now because they need to find a way across through mid. Shoxy does just barely make it, so he could actually get here to save the day. Is he going to hit the timing right? Yes, he will. Flamey forced to jump up on the box. But actually, he realizes then that he doesn't want to take that fight straight up. He actually gets the flash in from his teammates and goes for a 1-for-1.
Yeah, bomb plant here. C's going to be able to at least put it down, but staying alive is an entirely different matter. Grenade on out, but he goes down to Smiths. The double AWP setup currently on EnVyUs. They steal the one that Guardian had, and will be able to defuse the bomb rather easily. Looked like that round was going to spin out of control when Kyoshima failed that flank, but nice adjustment. And I guess Shox being quite quick, he heard them running into lower dark, so he had a good idea what was going on. But look at this from Smiths here. This is almost like, you know...
He hears the steps. It's like, wait a second. There shouldn't be anybody there.
Oh, man. Well, now they've given them an AWP. I mean, at least with the bomb plant, they could buy rifles here. Without it, I'm not sure they would have been able to. So let's see what they're going to be able to pull out here. Guardian goes down, tries to run down what is aptly named suicide. And for that very reason.
Happy not having any of it. We'll see if they're going to continue to hold in the same fashion. NBK up on pit, just barely drops in there in time. Tries to go for the flash of his own. That's going to slow things down here. Na'Vi, pretty thoroughly white. He's going to be able to pick up one. But again, those effective trades coming into play for Na'Vi. Smiths does manage to pick up a kill, and he brings it down to a 2-on-3 scenario now. Seized and Flamey, the last two alive, and the flash through on Flamey's part. Not going to be able to pick up that kill. He gets one on Happy instead. And actually, this is big work put in here by Flamey. So much damage dealt to the Shoxy means that Shoxy actually has to play very carefully from here on out.
I mean, that could have, without a doubt, been a double kill for Flamey. So you're right, that was pretty huge. And now Shox is in an awful position right here. Maybe if Seized... I mean, this is a bit of an off angle that Shox is holding, so Seized might not be sort of pre-aiming it, and that M4A1 could be enough, like a couple of headshots is going to be it. But the timing could not be better. Seized going to take him out. Shox is gone now. Kyoshima will fall next. What a round from Flamey. Quad kill as well. Steals an AWP at the end, are Seized, and... Na'Vi pick up the first of the game for themselves here. So that's really good, obviously getting on the board. Auto sniper from Smiths, wow.
Yeah, right before we go to the replay, I'm thinking, okay, so Smiths has around 7,000. He could drop a FAMAS for somebody, and then you can have, you know, basically Shoxy getting more than just the 2,000 worth. But he goes straight up to the Scar 20, and Keo gets tagged as he goes across. So 3 rifles now for Envy, one of them very expensive, and 2 guys on pistol. So... this is going to be a very tough round now for Envy. Bit of a mix for them.
Can't help but feel that it's a bit of a dick move to spend $7,000 on yourself and then have 2 of your teammates have pistols. It's like when you're playing matchmaking and someone says, oh, don't worry, like, you know, this guy can drop, and then you just see him, like, you know, buying everything. Like, he buys a Negev, and you're just like, okay, I guess he can't. It's not going to drop for anyone, is he? Well, that means now Smiths has to make it work, right? It has to come up big. At least he's holding long on his own. I mean, I guess that's good. That means they don't have to have more people down there. Leave a bit more presence in middle currently. Trying to prevent maybe a B-split, but it doesn't feel like that's what Na'Vi are doing right now.
No, instead it's going to be Guardian picking up the initial frag. That was up on Cat as well, so how the hell did he find that angle? Must have been right on the edge. He drops back to safety, though, and that forces Smiths with the rotation. Scar 20 versus AWP, though, it's a bit of a scary fight. Happy, however, going to get flashed, holding in his usual spot here in CT, trying to look over that smoke. Shoxy goes running out, and Guardian has taken out Smiths in the meantime. Happy just finally finds a chance to go for the spray through that smoke, but the damage is done, essentially, here. Na'Vi, they wrap up on long. They've got that bomb on Cat. They're going to be able to run it up, and this is definitely a situation where Envy, the rest of them, are going to just be trying to save some guns.
Kyoshima, oh,
that's
no.
painful.
Oh, it's the Indiana Jones moment. He wanted that treasure right in the middle of all of it, you know.
The giant like boulder rolled over him.
Exactly. That AK was so sparkly as well, you know, right in the middle of it, and just caught his eye there in the desert sun. And he was like, I can pick this up. I can get it.
That's a series that we gotta, like, you know what? We need to have a movie night, Anders. Like, watch all the indies again.
Yeah, like I said, the Muslim and I yesterday were watching The Thing, and it's still such an incredible movie. It's from 1982, and if you haven't seen The Thing, then you've been really missing out. It's so good that I went and bought the book that it's based on, which is called Who Goes There by John Carpenter. And it's like an 80-page book, so even if you suck at reading, you can still read it.
This is like the reason why you picked it up. You're like, oh, it's 80 pages.
I used to be an English dude. I've read all of Moby Dick, for God's sakes. I'm done with reading long books.
Break your back and crack your oars, man.
Right, but we should definitely have a movie night. Yeah, and Indiana Jones, not a bad pick, really. Funny films. Not gonna get the crossover this time. It's pistols all around on Envy. CT side, what was you know, that was really bad for them on Inferno. This time it seems like a stronger start for them, but they gotta stay in here. They can't start ecoing too much at the moment. Oh, Zeus, he's got that MP7 running around with.
Dude, if we're gonna stay on that same tack right now, all right. Well, B side, I do feel kind of like Envy were Navi's White Whale. As Flamey goes through, cleans up B-side, so now they have all the options in the world at this point. Navi, they can play it safe, get that bomb over to the B-side for a plant. Happy trying to hold on to the AK, taking the fight, and it's a very tough shot that he needs to hit, and he's not going to manage it. So he gets cleaned up. But, like, Navi were obsessed with Envy. Envy knocking them out of tournament after tournament after tournament, to the point where it's like Starix, whenever they would face, he's just, like, staring daggers at Happy, just trying to drill holes in him with his fucking eyes. And, like... there you go, man. Like, Navi, Envy were their White Whale, and they actually got the harpoons out, and now, all of a sudden, they've got a whale oil of plenty because Envy are getting just harpooned by them round after round.
I mean, we know who the captain would be on Navi, though. Definitely be Edward, right? With the beard.
Yeah, right. It's, like, it's too fitting.
Someone could probably make a really good Photoshop with, like, you know, Edward at the stern of some, you know, of a ship like that with a harpoon in his hand, and yeah, I see it happening. I could see that happening. Someone who has better Photoshop skills than... Actually, I don't have Photoshop skills. I have paint skills, but...
Who does that song? Isn't it Sabaton? Who does that song where it's like the Moby Dick and they've got the cartoon thing as well?
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's Sabaton. I'm not sure.
Someone tweet at us, tell us. Look, it's going to be around the minute mark here, so actually fairly early action for Navi with all the smokes going in here. This is almost unprecedented. They're firebombing on the site. They're smoking off towards the ramp. They're jumping down into CT spawn with 2 people. This is just Navi doing their thing, and Smiths is going to be spraying wildly, and he picks up a kill on Suso. Great start for Envy. And they got to get back in here. NBK also going to pick up Flamey, and finally Guardian with a reply. Gets 1, gets 2. Oh my god, it's unreal. Smith's going to go down. Shox with a good reply, though. And Seized, if he can get a kill here, that will turn it in their favor. And he's waiting patiently. Is he going to go? He's falling asleep a little bit as well. Is he going to knife Shox? The one guy you shouldn't knife. And Seized is being a gentleman as well. Giving him a clean death. Hiroshima now. Last man to try and clutch it. Walks right in, and Seized is going to take his face off. What a great round from Seized and Guardian. That was actually beautiful Counter-Strike, all of it.
That's just... what a pleasure to watch this round from Guardian, though. He gets the easy shot onto the man holding our car, but that one, like, that's literally takes the shot, and just the time that it takes him to actually reload his AWP is just shot, perfection from Guardian.
Yeah.
That's why he's just such a monster. And also, it's good that you point out, you know, Seized showing some respect to Shoxy, not going for the knife when he could have. Definitely could have, you know. And there's good reason to go for the knife as well. Nice shot.
That was NBK wanting to be super annoying with the scout. Like, he's had so much success with in the past on this map and on Cash as well. We've seen it a couple of times. And Guardian just shuts him down. Straight dead. Smith's going to pick up Edward and would love to pick up the rifle over there. He's going to run for it. But there's a guy waiting, and it's Zeus again with that MP7. He switches for the AK. I mean, this is perfect. He's just getting the absolute most out of the round. 2 kills, then back to the AK, and he's got 7,000 at the beginning. Guardian has a lot more. This is a nice flick.
This is when you start to get a little, you know, you start to sweat a little bit on Envy's side. Guardian starting to hit these shots round after round. And you do not want this guy to start waking up on Navi's side, because he will turn this into his playground, and he will be that bully that keeps you off the swing.
He hits that shot as well, in spite of the actual debris that was being flung up there from the HE grenade. He still manages to see it. Shox in the middle with the AWP, tries to get the flick on. It's a double up set up by Guardian on the other side, and the spray through grenade follow-up. Oh, Shox is going to be gone. What a combination from Na'Vi. That is a hard shot down. Shox is going to be actually, I think, just confused more than anything. Like, what just happened to me? Another Indiana Jones moment.
This guy's everywhere on the map right now. Envy don't know what to do. Wherever they go, there's Guardian waiting for him. And now Smiths, this is the key position on this map, essentially, for him. He's going to hit the first shot, fails to hit that second one. He will get the third, however, and this is excellent. He's slowly bringing his team back into this round. This is big work being done by Smiths at this point. Flash over that angle, however, will allow Na'Vi to start pushing past. Smiths not full flashed, but the smoke goes down to block off the cat plant, and now Na'Vi can actually start to restore some order here. Keo gets caught by Guardian, who is on 3 frags so far.
What is this madness? Who does that? Who just jumps up? He's going to get one more kill. He's got the quad. He's looking for the ace. He's got that Deagle out as well, looking for a headshot. And back to the AWP, and there it is, the ace from Guardian. We've got this thing called Play of the Day, and I think Guardian is quickly becoming a contender. This is ridiculous. 13, 1, and 5. Like, nobody does that jump to look down CT spawn. That's where you really risk the round for your team. You shouldn't do that unless you're Guardian.
I swore I could have heard the collective sigh that just happened there for Envy at the end of that round. We're just like, oh, like what happened? What did we do? And then they line up for Seized. He's gonna get that double kill, and he's got his teammate Flamey there to watch his back as well. So Envy going purposefully towards that B site with 3 players to shut down that kind of situation. They just get hard countered, completely slapped down now by Seized, who was the king of Inferno for Na'Vi. This is just not looking good at all. Any which way you look at it, Envy are struggling. 4 rounds for them, 6 for Na'Vi. And Na'Vi, I can't really see any way for Envy to stop them at this point.
No, definitely not. Now it's all about trying to stay alive. And I mean, if they get a kill on Guardian and steal the AWP or something, that would be big. Zeus also coming up with some really good calls at the moment. The change of pace in a round like this is hard for Envy to deal with. Even though they did have like a good setup over at B, that it's still so much faster than every other round from Na'Vi so far. So it's gonna be, you know, like just for Shox to try and get a good read on what's going on. If every round is just a little bit different, it's gonna start getting tricky. This round is sick.
Yeah, it's just such a pleasure to watch. He almost gets that headshot as well with the Deagle. He was real close. Well, it looks like, I mean, the reign of terror, it continues.
Yeah. Hand cannon Desert Eagle back here. Kiyoshima has gone down. Not really much of a chance to use it. They could try and see if they could find him. You can see they've sent out us a small platoon of people to look for Guardian up there. But, he's just patiently waiting back here.
And they're still here as well. They're trying to like actually see if he's lurking around at Suicide right now. Could hit that angle, and they will actually spot him out. The Deagle, though, I can't believe that Guardian actually goes for this combination as well. It's like every other sane Opera in the world would go for a Tech 9. And Guardian's just like, nah. I'm gonna go full Deag. Deag AWP, that's insane.
I mean, it's the ultimate 1.6 combo, right?
Yeah.
I can't actually recall if it got changed later, and if it probably was before 1.6, it was probably like a 1.5-ish thing. Someone tweet at me and remind me. It's a long time ago. I'm old as well. But you could essentially like shoot with the Deagle, and then when you swap to the AWP, your next shot from the AWP, even with no scope, would be where your Deagle crosshair just was. So you could like use the Deagle to actually line up the next shot. There's like a couple of really famous videos where that happens. I think K-Sharp being like one of the few people to like bring that up initially. So
you know what occurred to me though is that Guardian, he's probably reliving like the Source Deag right now.
Yeah, I mean the Source Deag was on a different level entirely, but like the Deagle AWP combo was like, yeah, those were fun times.
What's not fun right now is the B defense continues to just get demolished round after round here. Na'Vi, I mean that was Flamey that time. But again, trade frags, this is just so key for Na'Vi. Everywhere they go, they're going as pairs. They're able to just completely trade up. If they lose a man, second man in line will pick up that kill, and they just keep rolling forward. So they know the defense is weak here on the B site or non-existent. So they're going to be able to get that bomb plant. That's Flamey just charging in there. 3 kills on his tally right now. And Happy is now just alone on this A site, hoping that he doesn't get caught out. He's got to worry about 2, 3 different angles at this point, so it's a little bit tricky for him to just be trying to save here in this position, and Zeus could potentially just walk up behind him. Zeus actually very close to hitting the perfect timing, and he will get it. Look at that. A little bit ugly there, a little bit panicked, but gets the job done regardless.
Oh man, if Happy had hit that shot, that would have been scary. I'm trying to figure out what I want Envy to do here. If they'd been playing a different team than Na'Vi, I would have happily suggested some sort of aggression. But like we were talking about on Inferno, by the way, look at all these AWPs and the auto sniper as well. Not gonna hit a shot just yet. In fact, all that investment, they get nothing for it. Still, I love the fact that they did. I think this is a good way to spend the money if you've got it. But every other team, I mean, look at the way Na'Vi is setting up right now. If you're trying to push aggressive catwalk, like they do have 2 people up there, there's people waiting in middle. It's so hard to push Na'Vi because they're sort of defensive by nature, really. But I don't know what the alternative is.
It could be a push into Upper Dark right now for Envy. You can see them actually starting to think about that. Up close is going to be Smiths getting completely slapped down, but Happy was there. Double stack on Cat. Good positioning, but then Seized walks forward and uses the T-side auto shotty, the GS3. I mean, like, where and when do you actually think for a second as CT, I'm going to run into an auto sniper here on this T-side? You know, got to worry about that.
Nobody ever buys that Terrace auto sniper, ever.
Like, not often. Whoa. NBK and Keo, though, waking up here, turning it into a bit of a fight. Guardian takes out NBK, though, so that's going to leave Keo alone in a 1v2, but that bomb gets planted, and he's going to get flanked out here. Flamey going to be Hull and trying to get up here fast, but he decides to play it from long instead. Thought that he would go for the backstab.
Yeah, but I guess the bomb is not planted for a great catwalk push either, so it's a little bit tricky here. Flamey waiting down there. He's going to be shooting Kirishima in the back, and he's got no choice either. Guardian to pick up the kill at the end. 10-4, and Na'Vi just simply running over Envy here. They got the great start, and they just haven't been able to pick it up since. It's been a bit of a disappointing showing here, and it's Guardian and Flamey as like the two top fraggers here. It was Seized going nuts on Inferno, but now it's all Guardian and Flamey, and now look what they got. 2 auto snipers, 3 AWPs. Try and make the cross. I dare you, I double dare you, and they actually will. Whoa. Nobody gets tagged. Oh, wow.
And that sets it up. Oh, and there's Smiths. He's trying to go for the punish. He's saying, okay, if you guys are going to be like horsing around up there, going for the Scar 20s, or not the Scar 20s, but the AWPs, all that, let's see if I can't catch you out. But Flamey's having none of it. He's got 2 quick kills, opening up Cat. That was both Cat defenders right there. And now there's only going to be NBK left on the A site. The rotation has come in from Envy trying to push in behind Cat, but that smoke goes down. Zeus caught out with an HE though, but he gets the headshot onto Shoxy. Oh, this is now falling completely apart for Envy. Nothing is going their way.
Wow, Kiyoshima and NBK as well, and then Kiyoshima's going to get that kill. NBK alone here for the 15th round for Envy. Tries to do a bit of a shoulder peek, tries to bait out a shot somewhere. Oh, great banter as Guardian figured that kill. That was NBK really playing a game then.
Man, these score lines, though. 18-2-6, 21-4-7 for Flamey. I mean, that combination, when it happens, they just look completely unstoppable, Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Flamey in particular, he seems to be able to hit like a higher level on Dust 2 for some reason. Like, this seems to be like one of those maps where he's just comfortable on.
Yeah, I've on Cash as well, I've seen him do some really crazy things. Like, his positional play on a Cash is great. If only someone would have predicted a 2-0 here for Na'Vi. I mean, if only someone wise enough could have done that.
I was looking pretty grim, man. I wasn't going to fight you on it too hard. I mean, you know, French and all that, but I'm not really feeling it with these maps. I mean, Na'Vi, I mean, it's showing essentially why teams ban Dust 2 versus Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Like, they are just so competent on this map.
They're a scary team. This time, Guardian doing a little bit what Shoxy did in the first half, picking up the first kill there and looking for another shot. See if he can take down somebody else. But already Shoxy's gone. A big asset to be missing in a pistol round, in my opinion. Edward also spotting out another player back there. Are they going to realize that there's a little bit of action going up on Catwalk? That's the big question here. Flamey is holding up there, and Guardian goes down. So now maybe there's an opening grenade on out. It's going to be a little bit too far. Does a bit of damage to Smiths, but not enough, and they're going to overrun this bomb site. Nice round from Envy. Really, really patient round. Like, they took the fights when they were outmanning Na'Vi. Like, they would always be 2 or 3 people fighting one, and that's really good. 1 or 2.
No, double scout? And it's not even NBK buying a scout? What is this? Smiths and Keo both going for it. Okay. I mean, expected to see the scout on Guardian. No surprise there. Spots the man out in Suicide, so we'll see if he can get lucky here. Not sure if he spotted the second man through, but he's checking that angle. Flash there, and Guardian not going to be able to get the kill. Could potentially look for it, though. Shoxy down to 4 HP already at the beginning of this round.
No fun at all. NBK will open up with a good kill on Flamey, and that means they get the long control at the corner. Cease is going to come out. Very clean kill on NBK. Just the perfect timing. That 5-7 so powerful. And now Guardian is getting into position, but Kiroshima's going to take him out. That was a clean kill. Headshot and a grenade right on top of Seized as well. He's going to be gone. Sue's up there. Picked up the scout that he dropped, but jumping right now would be really dangerous, and peeking out is not much better either. Kiyoshima picks up that kill. Edward all alone. Coming up from behind. Could have been great timing if teammates had been alive, but can't hit the shot right there. Looked like those should have both been dead. So a bit of a misstep, but 6-11 is going to be the scoreline. Yeah. Envy just showing that, hey, you know, we can apply the pressure too. If you want to change up the pace and try and play fast, we're perfectly capable of doing the same. So that's really what's going through here. It's just like measured aggression on Envy's side. They get control of long, and then it's just like this slowing in it. Like, Yeah.
it's inevitable that they will just grind you down. That's the feeling that you're getting, especially considering Na'Vi don't quite have the guns yet to hold off that kind of push. And there was also kind of like a halfway buy. Only a couple people picking up Kevlar, the scout on Guardian, but there was some money saved on Na'Vi's side. And again, getting control of Long early here. NBK, he's even getting, naded by his teammates, but that's not going to stop him from picking up a triple kill.
Yeah, he's really feeling it, isn't he? Edward's going to go down as well, and that's Mac 10 there on Shoxy, so a little bit more money to work with. 7-11 being the scoreline, and I was making jokes about a 2 and all that, but this game is definitely not done yet. I mean, Envy, they did really well on the T side of Inferno. No reason why they couldn't come back and do something similar on Dust 2. So don't want to count them out at all yet.
And there we go, actually managing to get the guns. Guardian's got his AWP again, so he's going to be feeling pretty pleased about this. Just instant flick onto Smiths. And Zeus gone. I mean, Zeus picks up Happy as well. Shoxy does return to take out Flamey, but this is just Guardian at his finest.
Right, it's a little bit too far. It's almost like they stopped for him. Now he's going to go for the jump shot here and a boost up. It's still a 3v3, and actually NBK with that kill makes it in favor of Envy. They're going to take out Seized as well, and Guardian is trying to just escape around the corner here. The very expensive AWP, so great start, but Envy just do not give up. They keep speeding up behind it, which is, I mean, if you're going to handle Guardian, that's not the worst way of doing it. He's one of those AWPers that will take a shot and switch his position. Take a shot, switch again. So if you can get, to the new position before he does, and they kind of did because they ended up smoking him off, that's great. If they'd been there slower, he would have probably been the one boosted up in the site instead, and there would have been a very different position. So, Envy just using the speed there against Na'Vi. Nice round so far. A quick flick again. It's disgusting how fast he is.
What is this? And unfortunately, I mean, I bet you NBK would be dead too if Guardian didn't have to reload there. So, I mean, that's just incredible. But, yeah, regardless, the result is the same. Envy will pick up an 8th round. 11 rounds still for Na'Vi. And now it's just the reaction time on Guardian. But this is what he's famous for. I mean, this really is what he's famous for. It's not like the flashy, aggressive, I'm in your face kind of opping like the JW and the Kenny S. It's I'm going to hold this angle, and it doesn't matter if you try and change it up and get clever and hold an off angle or something on me. If I see you, I'm just going to flick instantly, you're dead. That's Guardian style. That's why players, I mean, fear this offer. Zeus, however, up close with Swag 7, going to pick off NBK, but he gets returned. And this is just kind of like a mix buy coming in here from Na'Vi, but it really is not effective at this point.
Oh, Shox lurking at the edge of the smoke, and Guardian didn't see that coming. He's clever usually, but Shox just outsmarting him in that position, so really good job. Pause being called for at 9-11, and you can tell now that Envy are right back in this game. This is anybody's game to win here at this point. Could go either way. Really good job on the Frenchman. Really impressed as well. NBK with the 20 kills so far, and Smith's at 14. So, yeah, generally speaking, pretty good stuff.
Now, this is a combination play from Na'Vi. I do like to see this. There's a couple things here. They're saying, well, okay, Envy are just rushing round after round after round after round on us. Let's figure out how we can actually slow them down, because there's a couple of things at play here for Envy. The feeling that you get when you watch this kind of play is it's a little fragile, in the sense that every single round has been ultra aggressive from them. What happens if they just get completely shut out by Na'Vi? Where do they turn to next then? Their confidence, this feels like a lot of their confidence is like, you know what, we're just going to go super fast, super fast, super fast, but all of a sudden the brakes get put on, and then what do? So Na'Vi are looking for a couple of things here. They're looking to see, okay, what can we do to shut this out? But also, let's take a couple of minutes actually to just let them cool off. Yeah. Right? Let's let them deflate a little bit here. Just there's no reason that we have to keep taking a beating if we can have a pause and actually just, go for that hard counter to momentum, which is, let's sit here for 3 minutes and calm down a little bit.
Now I'm wondering what they are going to come up with a play. I mean, obviously here they've only got pistols, and I think a buy right now would be risking a lot. They do want that AWP on Guardian. If they start going for like early for mass buys, then they're going to essentially play themselves out of one of their biggest strengths. They do buy a couple of Deagles, which is not bad either.
I do love the fact that we do have pauses now, though, like official pauses. You can have one per map. I mean, that is really cool stuff. The fact that teams now is just like, okay, they can include that into their strategy, and with the coaches now on the teams as well. How does Guardian do it?
What on earth?
All right. Well, that was just one of those shots where just looks magical. Guardian headshot with the Deagle on a man through the smoke, and the timing couldn't be better. But Kiyoshima actually pushes out, manages to catch out Edward. They turn around in time. They couldn't quite survive here.
He got one more headshot. He's still alive back here in CT spawn. There's 2 headshots with the Deagle. The first of which was out of this world. Well, he's going to see if he can do a little bit more damage. Obviously, winning the round is not really an option here. That's a third one coming in, looking for more. Not going to get it, but that was so scary. Just a one-man army. 26 kills in 22 rounds. That is nuts, isn't it?
It's a real pleasure to watch. And you can see he's just so used to playing that position. When he readjusts his aim, he's like dead on. All he has to do is just step out, line it up, and take that shot. It's just, boop, it lines up so perfectly. He's just like, oh, man. That's just like so many years of experience right there on display. What a pleasure.
Look at how close EnVyUs are closing the gap, though. I mean, Guardian is playing so well at the moment, but Envy as a whole are playing better than Na'Vi right now. So, like, you know, either one of them, they don't seem to be able to sort of really stand up to Guardian, but as long as they keep playing as a team, that seemingly doesn't matter. Grenade out. Looked like that should have done a lot more damage, but just doesn't connect too well.
Peppers Shoxy there.
Now, if they make this crossover, they're running right into Guardian. They obviously have some smokes that they can try and zone him out with, but that is always scary if you try and go up right against him. And standing in the fire there for a bit, NBK takes some damage.
But they still hold, and now Guardian is in the key position here on A slope, looking onto Cat. 2 members gathered up here for Envy. That bomb waiting as well. And now we could actually start to see this push come through. They're trying to set it up, Envy, with the nades, and now's the run. 3 players just go bombarding onto this site, and will Guardian actually manage to hold? Good flash from him, misses the shot, and Kiyoshima with the headshot. Probably the most important kill on the map at that point.
Yeah, really big entry. Now, Flamey just hoping that they're going to make a big mistake, that Happy, who's down there, is going to walk up and get himself killed, and maybe they could think about a retake if they got a follow-up, but Envy's playing the super well. Happy has a really good game sense when it comes to stuff like this. Good at lurking like he's doing currently. Doesn't show himself at all. And Edward all alone. And it's going to be hunted. And this is the round where Envy get to equalize and make it 11-11. Really solid performance here. Yeah, quite impressive. Triple kill from Kiyoshima as well. And they've brought it really far back at this point in time.
NBK also, gotta say, we have to give him credit. You know, not as dominant the ratio, I guess, but 23, 1, and 15. And NBK is kind of like a barometer for Envy as well. As soon as he starts really taking off, the rest of the team seem to follow suit. So, could be a big part of it. But yeah, tied up at 11-11 right now. And Na'Vi, once again, actually going for the force buy. Guardian, he can afford the glass cannon AWP, so that's pretty much what prompts it. 3 FAMASes, an M4, and 3 nades to work with here for Na'Vi in this round. But they did actually infiltrate somebody into the lower dark here. So we have to see, can Shoxy win this fight versus C's? Yes, he does.
Oh, Edward coming right through his shots. Has got the grenade out, so he's going to go down. So still a pretty decent trade, I think, for Na'Vi. I mean, they have very little equipment here. And Guardian gets the shot. I think Flamey also saved him a bit by shooting at Kiyoshima beforehand there. Smoke to make the crossover. Flamey trying to hide, but he can't. And NBK will take him out. Now let's see if Guardian can make one more kill. He could have almost spotted the feet, then goes for the jump shot. Not going to get it just yet. Misses once. And goes for it again. Second time not going to hit either. And now he's just trying through the smoke. Suzu's going to come running in. And it is a 3v3, but all the way down on long. Happy's lurking, and there's no one coming. So he's got to get back here and help his teammates. Otherwise, this is going to end horrible for them. NBK with a good kill there on Edward. Next in line, Guardian goes down. NBK shutting them down one at a time for the triple, the quad kill, in fact. And that's Envy taking a round lead. Nice round from the natural-born killer.
I'm surprised that Envy go for a pause right now. That must be a technical issue, because
yeah,
I can't
probably
imagine them wanting to slow down the pace of the game at this point. I think that they really just want to try and keep the pressure on Na'Vi and not allow them a chance to breathe. So it must have been like a little bit of a technical issue here. Hopefully this won't be too long a pause for their sake, because now, like, they've got that round lead. They've got great money. And Na'Vi are just getting completely shut down. They don't want to let Na'Vi recover here.
If we bring up the scoreboard, yeah, they've won no rounds in the second half.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's crazy. Look at this. It's just a wall of team for both teams. Like,
yeah,
so many T rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's Na'Vi winning 11 rounds straight as terrorist, and now Envy coming back and saying, fine, all right, well, then we'll just win the next 8 rounds straight and do it like that. That's just shocking.
Okay, Happy. All right, so it looks like Happy needed to reconnect into the game. And that has actually, I mean, NBK, I mean, you got to see both of these players right now. Flamey doing good work for Na'Vi. I mean, still sitting at 21, but like between the two of the top, 27 for NBK, 28 for Guardian. It really is like the battle between those two. And we got a demonstration for NBK as well. That was just some sick AK work from him on long.
Yeah.
Standing his ground. They just keep running out at him. He just keeps his cool. That's the important bit. So now, well, hopefully Happy can get back in here fairly quickly here.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully it's not a big problem. We'll see.
I mean, that's such a big thing now for Na'Vi. Basically, they get 2 timeouts. Like they actually committed to using a timeout earlier to slow things down, but now I mean, it's like a technical timeout, or might as well be. Yeah.
No, not that.
No. I mean, I don't know if they're sitting like side by side and like kicked Happy's PC or something. No, they're not at the same LAN.
No, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I feel like Na'Vi have to come. They're in a very similar situation to the one that EnVy were in when they were playing CT side, where it's like you got to come up with something different because this isn't working. Like every time, it's pretty much the A bomb side that's under attack, and you don't have any reasonable way of defending it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm wondering what the play could be. I mean, that one round where they snuck Edward and someone else into middle, and they caught Shoxy back there. That's obviously really good. It's almost like I'd rather see like all of Na'Vi just kind of, try and converge on middle. Like get 2 people on catwalk, push 2 people upper dark, and then like group up in the middle, hope for something.
Well, you're seeing them take over long every single round. I almost want to see like 3 guys go long right now for Na'Vi early on, and just say, you know what, we're just gonna like hard nade, but also leave like 2 guys that crossfire and just leave Guardian behind. If they could have like everything they need, Na'Vi, it's like take over long, invade long, and basically deny that to EnVy early on, force them elsewhere onto the map.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to coming up with an answer right now. That A bomb side falls really quickly.
Yeah, that's what's scary. And it comes down to the even Edward with the what you mentioned, it still turns into a retake situation. Yeah. And then NBK was just like, no, I'm not having any of that. 3 kills, yeah. I mean, that's a tough. This is a tough question for Zeus basically to come up with an answer. Luckily, he has Starix now as well, who's just watching these. He doesn't have that same pressure, so he's able to gather up what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. So at least Zeus now has a bit of an input there. I mean, both of these teams. Well, Nex isn't exactly the coach that Starix is. Or, I mean, Nex is more of a manager. He isn't really a coach in that sense. So I wouldn't see that kind of support there for EnVy.
I'm wondering if they hold short with 2 people. And don't use the HEs they have. And then, sure, EnVy can get the long control if they want to. But if you got 2 HEs up there and they try and put down the bomb, as long as you're still short, you can probably do a lot of damage with those grenades, right?
Yeah. It's like what's always scary there is that if you allow Guardian to get up into Goose, like coming back on Cat, like like there's a risk that you expose yourself if you throw those HEs. If you want to get them deep onto that A site, if he's got Goose control, then it's gonna be really hard to get rid of him.
Yeah, I'd like to see Guardian holding hard on the A bomb site and 2 people on short, and then just leave long alone entirely. Don't put anyone down there. Let Guardian pick off someone if they jump into pit, or if they can't do that, then just like fall back again, keep falling back, and then play for the retake almost.
Yeah.
Like let them take so much damage trying to get up onto the site. Have the grenades, like use the smokes you have on short, but then like leave all the have the Molotov, have the HE grenades, and try and take them out like that. I don't know if it's like a fail-safe way of playing it, but they got to come up with something else.
It's like hard to say because like they just did that, right? Like 3v2 and NBK. I guess you can't really attribute that's not going to happen consistently every single round where NBK is going to get 3 headshots. But that's also like really tough if you're going to go for like the retake scenario. You're just getting completely slapped.
Yeah, but I mean playing retake on A is, I mean,
it should be easier.
You've definitely got a chance to do it. Like you've definitely got a chance to do it. And it would also, I mean, having 2 people on short also means that if they do switch it up and go for a B split, you're a lot closer to rotating in for middle as well. So I don't know. This is it's a hard one to break, really. They both teams seem to have a really good clue about how to approach A right now. We're waiting for Happy to get back into the game, of course, and back on the server. He got disconnected briefly, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. And if you are just joining us, then, just a recap here. It's the second map that we're currently playing on Dust 2. First map went to Na'Vi. Really, really incredible performance from them on Inferno. They just slapped EnVy right out of that map.
I think like a near-perfect T-side round, essentially T-side half for Na'Vi. So they just were not going to get denied that first map. Yeah,
and it looked for a long time on this map like they were going to do something very similar, but now EnVy are really stepping it up and are really coming alive, and it's turning into a really hard time for Na'Vi. Yeah, no fun at all.
What was the current score? Was it 12 rounds for EnVy?
I think it's 12-11 right now, yeah.
That's insane. That means it was 11 rounds in a row for Na'Vi. And then...
now it's all EnVy. I guess they just took, or just about to take the 9th round in a row, so without dropping a single one. That's really impressive.
That's scary. That's really scary. I mean, it's good to see, though, as well. I mean, EnVy need that kind of confidence after getting rocked on Inferno like that, and also just getting beat up in the first half of this map. I mean, for them to actually keep their heads in the game and come back and actually make it competitive at the end, I mean, that's also. I'm wondering, it's like great leadership, I suppose, coming in here from Shoxy as well, seeing as how he's the one who's calling the shots and then saying, you know what, we are going to just go super aggro and we're just going to keep the pressure up on them and never really let it off. NBK also coming alive. Like I was saying, NBK is a good man to keep your eye on when you're watching Envy, because if he's actually getting kills, in general, he's in the really difficult positions of, you're going to set it up for the other teammates. You're going to set it up for Happy with nades. You're going to peek into mid where it's a high chance of you getting headshot. These sorts of things, that's his role. And for him to actually manage to get kills on the board, that's when it's looking pretty damn good for Envy right now. Not, 8 rounds in a row on T side also.
That tells a story, doesn't it?
Tells a story as well,
it
right?
Definitely does.
NBK is a good guy to watch.
Yeah. Now, we're just trying to sort out the issues, guys. So it's going to be just a little bit of time, and we could almost go for a break. But I kind of want to know, what else apart from Indiana Jones? What would be good for a movie night, Semler?
Dude, I want to go. I know some people might not agree, but I kind of want to rewatch Mad Max.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Okay, then that's what we're doing.
The problem for me is I'm awful at watching movies. Like every movie I watch now, I think if this had been a TV series, it would have been so much better.
Yes.
Like that.
But that's for when they're converted from books, right?
No, just like generally speaking, I feel like so many stories. When I think about them, I think I wanted to see more. I watched on our way to Texas for the ESCA LAN finals. I was watching the Nightcrawler. Which was actually like a really interesting concept, and the guy I forget his name now, but the guy playing like the main character, super well played as well.
Is it the guy who played Scarecrow and Batman? Was that it? I can't remember who it was.
I'm awful at actor names, so I'm really sorry about that. No. But either way, that was I definitely watched the movie. It's a really good movie, but I've got the feeling like I wanted to see like a longer build up. I want to know more about him as a person. In the span of one movie, you don't have the time for it. You have to make it quick. You have to make everything escalate really quickly. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of time.
It's true though.
So I think I don't know. I just want to see more. Very sad, very sad. So that's why
more Game of Thrones. But then the big complaint in this season of Game of Thrones is that it's all moving too quickly as well. Like too quick. This is the problem with book adaptations, though, especially when you get like big tomes.
I mean, it might be true, but then imagine if Game of Thrones had been a movie like Lord of the Rings.
Oh wow!
Lord
of the Rings is probably one of the best adaptations to film, though. Like just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking, what would happen if Lord of the Rings had been a television show?
Man, that would have been if HBO had been as powerful as it is today, then.
I mean, I'm almost willing. Someone should go and try it. Just try it.
That's what's crazy about Peter Jackson as well, is then he just goes and like Shreks The Hobbit, and just like completely just demolishes the entire story of The Hobbit. So it's like he did really well with Lord of the Rings because he had so much content to go off of, and then he went with The Hobbit where he just like totally like Hollywoodizes it. And you're just like, Peter, what are you doing, bro? And everybody's saying like, oh my God, we love this. It was so fantastic. It's like,
all right. Well, I'm trying to think of what else might be coming up. I mean, I guess it's not too far away from the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, with the I guess like the Claymore saber, like the thing where he's got like the cross guard on the
yeah.
And then some guy on Reddit actually did like a GIF where it fills out to be like a Claymore, and I was like, that's probably that's one of the most badass
I've seen a couple of really good ones as well. That's like split all of the internet, hasn't it? Like some people defending it, saying like, look, it could definitely work, and other people are saying.
But do you know this game called Phantasy Star Online?
No.
This was like a game. It was like the GameCube. We played it on the GameCube actually, like way back, and it was like the one game you could actually like play online when the GameCube was actually starting to get some online capacity. Yeah, I know, console, whatever. But like that game was so sick, right? One of the best grinders ever, and they had that weapon in it. It used to be like this claymore, basically, with like the ultraviolet, like edges and all that. So when I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, that's where they got the concept from. It's like the claymore, the lightsaber claymore.
The closest I've ever played to that is a really cool game that someone should absolutely like. If like there's a game developer out there that wanted to like really have an easy concept to copy, but one that's super fun to play is a game called Rune.
What?
Rune. Yeah.
Okay.
Super fun game. Where you just like you play. It's like a melee game where you just like you have huge hammers, huge axes, huge claymores, and you can get like power ups, and you just like maul each other in a huge arena. It's a fantastic game. I would still play that game if I could. It's so much fun.
I could get behind that. Like I'm all about the
so much fun to play. But actually, in the Star Wars theme, did you ever play Star Wars Galaxies, the MMO?
No, I dodged that bullet. My friend Phil was playing that game.
That was a lot of fun in the beginning. Like we had a lot of fun, but it kind of got ruined halfway through. But there were some good times in the MMO.
Yeah, they keep trying though. They keep trying to come up with like all the Star Wars games and all that. The only good one was like, Damn, what was it called
Knights
again?
of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah,
probably.
that was it. But the rest of it, although they did have one on N64 actually, which was pretty dope as well.
But the thing is, I've
Oh
never
my
owned.
God, I haven't thought about that game in ages.
I've never owned a console. That's my problem. I've never had like a PlayStation or an Xbox
that's
or
the
anything.
difference, right? Where it's like you come, I guess. Well, in Europe, it was all about like the PlayStation. That was like the PlayStation, right? Like that was like whatever. That's why all these kids play Tekken and they don't play Street Fighter.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Just get out, right? You know, it's like, dude, it's all about, you know, Smash. Like that was all Nintendo. Basically, you'd all get like Nintendo's GameCubes, N64, because you were playing like Zelda, Mario Kart, like, all those games.
I mean, they were playing Halo and stuff. That's on Xbox, right?
Halo was on Xbox, yeah.
I just never got. I was never into any of it. I play games like Diablo and Half-Life and like, you know,
I don't know.
Wolfenstein
like,
if you want to get really old.
It was just a different, it's a different approach to it, I guess, because it was always just like, even, okay, so starting out, you know, you would have like, you'd when you were really young, you know, like middle school, all that, you know, you'd have your like sleepovers and you all like all the guys would get together at the one place, and so it'd be like the kid with like the N64. And you guys would play Mario Kart all night long or something like that.
We didn't do that.
Right?
We carried our
PCs.
we brought our PCs.
But we didn't get PCs, man. Like I didn't have a PC until I was like, I don't even know how old. Like 12, 13? Something like that.
Most people didn't in Denmark either at that time. But because I lived in a crazy city where we had a crazy mayor who later got arrested for spending way too much money, which we were happy about because he bought PCs for all the school kids. That was his thing. He's like, we're going to be like the most technologically advanced, you know, town in Denmark. So we're going to get PCs for everyone. So that's what happened. Everyone got a PC, and they're going to play with stand-in apparently. Happy's died entirely. I mean, his internet
that's
has at
not
least.
good.
Oh, I think
what
Biggie's going to be playing.
Biggie, but still, like that Biggie, it rhymes. But where's Happy? What happened?
I don't know. That's upsetting. I guess his internet has died or his PC has died or something like that. But yeah, so just to cut that story real short, we all had PCs. We all brought them over with our CRT monitors, so it's really hard to carry, you know, everything all at once.
Are you gonna do all that for like a night?
No, we like the weekend.
Yeah,
I'd sleep on my friend's floor, and we'd be playing, you know.
It's like totally
good times.
Totally different.
Good times. All right, look, enough about that. We are getting back into the game, and sadly, tragically, Happy is not with us. Something went wrong on his side, and you know, I'm sure he'll be back at some point. Dust 2 is what we're getting into here, and Envy do have the round lead. They also have had a pretty insane streak of about 8 or 9 rounds, depending on exactly where we're counting. And it's been quite incredible. Now, hopefully, this stand-in is not going to like cause any trouble. Like, it seems like Envy are on their way to a victory here. Be upsetting if this change somehow changes everything.
Well, yeah, it is Biggie. Okay, we've seen him in the past, but he is not exactly happy either. So
there really aren't many people that can fill Happy shoes. To be fair, so it's not like just a shot at Biggie, but it's generally speaking.
The one thing they can take away from that is that, you know, at least Happy isn't calling right now. It's Shoxy, so they're not losing their in-game leader.
Wow.
What?
I mean, the opening frag from Smith was great. He got the long spawn, but the spray in middle from Shox then is obviously godlike. Seized and Sue's already out of it, and Envy apparently not slowed down at all by the really long pause, and also by the fact that they've got a stand-in. It's like, you're going to keep going.
Yeah, spray like that any day of the week. Thank you very much, Shox. And now Keo just lurking around here, as you can see, up towards Upper Dark. He's looking towards that B site, hoping to catch somebody out. I mean, Guardian is here with his scout, and he's going to be so hard to hit. He's going to be so difficult to hit because he's going to be so fast scoped in. So you've got this real threat, and as soon as that scout is discovered, they just start to, well, move it around a little bit. They are going to be able to get mid-control here.
Yoshima's got a grenade, though. If he hits an HE back there on Guardian, that's it. It's gone. Smoke is up as well. Is he going to do it? Guardian is crossing his fingers that won't happen. Kyoshima keeps trying with the AK, and he's going to hit the headshot as well while strafing. That is absurd. But it's now 2v2, and Flamey has some very good timing here. This is going to be hard for them to deal with. The smoke, though, is covering them for a moment. Can he find enough time? There's the spray, and Edward's going to pick up NBK as well. So that round actually turns, and Envy end up losing it. Oh, no.
And that was an eco round as well from Na'Vi, pretty much. So
they got like a Mag 7 and the Scout. I think that was it.
I mean, this is like a round basically where they're trying to even out their money. They were just looking to do some damage to Envy and, you know, thinking about the next round. But there you go. That's what can happen these days. Now Na'Vi run it back and they get 12-12 on the board. And now they have the AWP for Guardian. He's fully equipped. Smith still had enough for his AWP, but look at this from Guardian. This is the solution, perhaps. Just get him out onto Cat early. See if you can't pick somebody up. Lower Dark, mid. No luck this time, however, and he decides to back off. And it's almost like we have to kind of like reboot on the situation. For the time being, or at least for a while there, Envy were just consistently invading, long, but now they decide to change it up and they're going to go out through mid instead.
Oh, good flashbang there. Edward gets the kill on the one guy who wasn't flashed, but they do get the return here. Seized, should be able to pick up NBK, but he plays it so well, and Biggie comes up with a headshot on Zeus too. Guardian looking for some sort of crossover kill, but not going to get it. And you're right, Envy, they are all ridiculously low on health as well.
All of these seem like close battles.
Yeah, they were. I mean, NBK could have gone down, and then who knows if they could have even got into the B-bomb side without losing a couple of more players.
Yeah, I really have to say that right now it's not looking too hot here for Na'Vi. Flamey, Guardian. I mean, this is where it's so important that they hold on to these guns. Envy, they're going to go out hunt. They don't worry about, losing a rifle here, losing a gun there. It's not going to be the end of the world. They managed to trade effectively, and that's the AK that's been lost. Now Guardian trying to stop things here. NBK gets it, and he could get the spray, and he will. So no saving of the guns here for Na'Vi. And the fact that they win and then lose the next round is going to set them back. And wow, Guardian doesn't even waste any time. He goes for the straight buy right there. Looks like Na'Vi are going to bite the bullet and go for it.
Wow. Double AWP setup as well. Flamey going to pick up the other one. Oh, if they could have saved the AWP originally on Guardian, would have been such a huge help for them, wouldn't it? Smiths goes down. Guardian going to pick up that kill. He tried to shoot early, and now they're going to be moving forward, but the bomb is up in T-spawn. They got to be careful, and Edward coming up from lower dark as well. Easy kill on Kiyoshima. That splits the terrorist forces into the bomb still stuck up there. Biggie, how does he get out? And finally, Guardian goes down. Shock's coming up with a good kill here.
Seas takes out NBK in the meantime, and Flamey will find Biggie up in T-spawn, so that bomb's still waiting up there. It's Shoxy now, 1v4. And, I mean, he has an entire map that he has to canvas here. Na'Vi could be anywhere. Not sure if he spotted that man, but the jump there gives it away. He's going to start moving his way into T-spawn, and Zeus already with the AWP. Misses the timing, however. He should hear the steps. Oh, that flash is going to make it a bit tricky here. Shoxy just going for the pre-fire nearly. So sick on his part. Jumps out into the open, though, and he will not win the duel. Edward will find that kill in the end, and Na'Vi, what is this? It's just turning into bedlam. It's turning into chaos. 13-13 now, and they win another force.
13-13. Can't believe it now. Envy are the ones who actually have to really worry about the money here. They are going to go for a buy, but they really don't have a lot left. If they lose now, Na'Vi could end up edging out the map against them. And that would be such an unfortunate turn of events, wouldn't it?
Well, that would be that 2-0 that you prophesized.
Yeah, but not like this. I mean, I'll happily take, the prediction if it's... But I feel like at this point, if it's a stand-in that breaks the streak, and it's not quite honorable, isn't it? I mean, I feel like I'd feel bad at that point for Envy. It seemed like they were well on their way to pushing a third map here. They were really earning it as well. Like, they were really playing well. So, that's a little bit upsetting, but it's the nature of online Counter-Strike. You can't really always do anything about that. Someone's router dies or their monitor dies or whatever. You can't change that. Obviously, can't delay the whole tournament and everything else. And all these teams probably have to play later tonight as well. So, the later things go, the worse it's going to get. Kiyoshima will go down early in the round. That's Envy losing an entry there. NBK really patiently waiting up here. That's actually a tricky position to get into. Zeus, though, will pick off Smiths, and NBK finds the timing, gets one, keeps spraying, almost gets seized. One more bullet would have done it. Now Zeus is going to come in and gets Shox as well. Somehow with a double there, and Biggie all alone, getting sprayed in the back as well. It's going to be a triple kill for Zeus, and 14-13 now. Na'Vi really taking control, and almost no money left on Envy. Do they want to fight for overtime, or do they just want to try and see if they can come up with like a crazy run? They could go for AWP armor on Shox and then Tech 9 armor on everyone else and just try and make that work. And that's exactly what they do.
And he's not going to get it. Shoxy didn't take the bait on the first one. He waited for the second. But that gamble doesn't pay off.
Yeah, and they're going to rush. That's exactly what they want to do. They get the count on how many people cross. They want to see if they can get in here. Seized. Going to get overrun. Edward outside. Can't really get back in, just trying to put some shots through, but none of them are going to connect just yet. And Envy can definitely win this round. You got to wonder if Na'Vi, going for this retake means they got to get a kill really early here.
They get some great info, but then, yeah, that's all that NBK needs. Sees you jumping over that smoke, he's going to light you up, and that's 2 kills now for Envy.
Yeah, they're not even trying now, Na'Vi.
No, they need to hold back. Can't believe how close it is here at the end of this map. Insane. And now Flamey waiting. Gets spotted out, though, so that's going to be a real bit of a problem for him. Biggie will take that fight with the Tech 9 and not succeed in hitting a single bullet, but then NBK comes to play, and he's going to be able to find the kill. Flamey does manage to fall back just in time, takes that fight long range, and wins it versus NBK. Guardian giving us away his position in T-spawn, but that's not the end of the world. They will survive on both sides with 3 players, and a nice AWP there saved for Shoxy as well. So, Smiths, is that going to be going to Smiths? I imagine it should.
Yeah. NBK currently picking up. Maybe Smith isn't quite feeling it. Either way, that was a... There we go, switching it up a little bit. That was a big gamble on Envy's side, but I'm really glad they did that. I mean, the economy sort of led them to that conclusion, I guess, that, hey, there's actually a chance to do this. And I love the idea that they combined it with a rush as well. Because then Shoxy's getting the count in middle. If he spots 3 people running in there, probably they're going to abort the rush. But he sees 2, and maybe he got a clue, maybe he got a feeling like he didn't tag any of them, but maybe he felt like he did.
Yeah.
And that could be enough to set off a bit of a start. And there, Guardian, though, we're going to pick up Smiths. AWP versus AWP, and it's the Slovakian player coming out on top.
And Edward getting tagged down fairly low. They are going to look like they want... I mean, they want to shape up for an A split here, it looks like. But that smoke goes down to block off Cat. So Na'Vi doing a good job of hitting their timings there appropriately. It's going to be NBK instead taking point here on long, working his way out. He's got Biggie backing him. So we'll see if he's successful, if he spots out Zeus. And what a shot! The reaction time on NBK right there, on point. Guardian misses his first shot. He needs to follow up with the second, however, and he's going to get it. Now, can he actually lock down Shoxy? Yes, he can. Flick shot there, and this is looking fantastic now for Na'Vi.
Guardian hits that shot on NBK for the box, and there's going to be a quad kill. That's almost unreal, and Biggie's going to go down. Map and match point here for Na'Vi, 15 to 14, and almost no money left on Envy. Wow, that performance from Guardian. I mean, like we said, the player of the day, I feel like, you know, top 3 candidates for player of the day so far are like all Guardian.
Pretty much, right? This one right here, it's just... Right, NBK. Time for a nap. And it's going to be another force buy here for Envy, but this one not nearly as powerful as the last. They're light on the nades. They will be able to afford a couple of Tech 9s, and whoa, Guardian missing 2 shots here. Especially after that last round, that's a bit scary to see. Kiyoshima looking to rush down the man holding, and he is going to manage to trade up, but then Guardian comes into play. Flamey there as well, just locking it down. Runs out of bullets, though, but it's still a man advantage here for Na'Vi going into this retake if they want to.
And Envy trying to throw them for a loop, just trying to fall back here, making sure they're not getting flanked. I mean, if they can walk back in here and Shox can catch someone, then suddenly they're at even odds. If they find nobody, though, it's a bit hard to know what they're going to call. And, well, Guardian's going to drop NBK. Bomb is now all the way back there, and Shox, he's not got much to really try and do this with. He's not boxed in yet, which is the one sort of advantage, but seized. Here's him running back. He must have a good clue of what's going on here. I'm not sure if he went behind the blue box or not, but they've already got Edward in position all the way over at B. This is, yeah, I mean, this is Na'Vi bringing it back right at the end of the map, but obviously, a bit of a shame that Happy couldn't be a part of it.
And now, I mean, basically it comes down to Shoxy, whether he can actually catch the timing here on Edward. I'm not a big fan of the fact that Edward gives up the site like this, really.
Well, I mean, the problem is there's so little time left that Shox, once he goes to plant, he almost has to hold it. He can't fake it that many times. And look at Edward. Oh, yeah. He has to hold it down, more or less, so instantly goes down. And that's going to be it. 36 kills on Guardian in 30 rounds. My God. I mean, that's the kind of Guardian you want to see every single time.
Yeah, that's some rare form.
It's going to be Na'Vi 2-0ing Envy here. Pretty well done. I mean, they're just a strong team right now. Can't underestimate them ever.
Yeah, and it does feel like, you know, they've gone through their selection of harpoons and they've picked the right one. Envy, man, they just can't swim away. Or they can't crash the ship either anymore like they used to. They used to just like not even swim away. They just like wreck the ship. And Na'Vi, you know, you'd have like Edward just shaking his fist at them from the con. Like
it's because it used to be basically Na'Vi not with like harpoons, but just with sticks, and their ship wasn't like a ship. It was more like one of those rubber rafts, and it was like
Zodiac. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, they just got devoured essentially. But here we go. This is the bracket currently. Envy getting knocked down into the lower bracket. They're not out of the tournament. Don't worry, guys. They're the sort of team that can definitely make it all the way through the lower bracket. They're going to be playing Nerd Rage which we saw yesterday, who lost to Team Acer, but put up a really good fight.
Yeah, they did. And then it's Joel's and his crew, basically. All of them speak Finnish.
That's what
Finnish?
they don't do, actually, because Villig tweeted me.
And he says he doesn't speak?
Yeah, doesn't speak Finnish.
So what are they doing? They're speaking English then?
Yeah, maybe they just don't communicate with him. They're like, you just do whatever you want.
But I mean, hell, if he's doing what he wants, right? He was top fragging every map for them.
That's what I told him. I said, like, so long as you keep playing like you're playing, it doesn't even matter. You can speak Chinese and they'll be all right. He was playing super well, so
yeah, he was. Pistol
cool
rounds,
stuff.
rifles. It really did seem like Villig, or well, you know, should I say, Tom Hanks was doing really good.
Thanks.
So.
Yes, indeed. Well, tragically tonight we actually don't have any more best of threes for you guys, but we do have a little bit more coming up, obviously. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a recap, but we certainly will have like a play of the day as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have the recap, so let's just check it out in case you missed it. If you're a little bit too late, then we're obviously sorry. There's going to be a VOD somewhere, but the recap is coming right here.
So this was Dust 2 and the story of EnVy running it back to 30 rounds. I can't believe that Happy drops out at the end. You know, so that kind of does take a little bit of the wind out of Navi's sails. Can't feel like the super clean win that they were looking for, but man, Guardian. I feel like this is just going to be like the Guardian reel, essentially. He just beasted EnVy the entire way through.
There are so many ridiculous highlights from him. Yeah, I mean, this is the ace round, isn't it? I think it is, yeah. Like this, I don't know. This round is hard to deal with. He just kills everyone. One of the few aces. We haven't had that many aces today, yet in this tournament so far. I feel like it's been a little light on aces, but generally speaking, good performance from both teams. EnVy, I think, getting a bit of I would say a bit of a sort of a wake-up call when it comes to the CT side Inferno. I feel like they need to figure out if they want to keep picking the map, which they do. I can't talk them out of it apparently. Then they really got to change something on that CT side.
All I keep hearing is like, you know, Vincent or somebody, you know, like, hey guys, yeah, don't worry, 10th time's the charm, right?
Yeah. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I don't know. I think it's perfectly possible that EnVy have like a team meeting at some point and say, look, how do we change Inferno? Then they come back and they're just as strong as they ever were on it. So I don't think this is not like a permanent sort of thing. Like somehow EnVy have lost the ability to play Inferno. Like that doesn't even happen, right? But right now it seems like they're just doing it out of like sheer like stubbornness and just like, you know, we used to be the best, so we keep picking it because we should be the best. And that's not really how the real world works.
They're trying to make adjustments. It's just that, you know, they went through a heavy adjustment, which is basically changing up your entire like calling style, which is like, hey, Shoxy, you're going to take the con now.
Yeah.
But basically it's Shoxy who said, you know what, this was speaking with him where he says, you know, basically, you know, felt like we were in a bit of a slump. I decided to step forward, offer my services as lead. And that was like the change that we were trying to look for there to actually kind of like jumpstart the team again, basically, and get things going. But with changes to communication like that, to calls, you're gonna have that growing pain period yet again. Yeah. So it's been what, like 3 weeks, I want to say now, that Shoxy's been calling for them.
Yeah.
So still trying to figure things out for them.
Well, not on EnVy's side, but on Navi's side, we actually do have Guardian with us on a bit of a Skype call here. So what's up, Guardian? Can you hear what we're saying?
Yes, hello, good night.
Hello. So do you get like a bonus when you get more than 30 kills in a round or in a map or something? Is that in your contract somewhere?
Actually, no, it's just a team spirit. When one player doesn't play good, then the other need to play good. So that was me this time.
That was your turn on Dust 2, and on Inferno it was Seized playing really, really well. But someone who's been playing consistently well on your team didn't, I think, have like the most highlights in either of these two maps. But Flamey, as long as the really young player, how are you guys able to influence him? Like, the most of you have more experience than he does. Are you able to like, does he receive a lot of info from you guys?
Yeah, actually, like, he doesn't feel any pressure because we are like balanced team, skill-wise, I would say. So he feels well and like he's free. He feels free to play on any spot. So yeah.
Did you focus on EnVy in particular? Like take a lot of time basically and say, you know, out of all the teams that we have to play, we keep having trouble versus these guys. So you know what? We're just going to completely focus all of our efforts onto EnVy. What I'm trying to say is, you know, did they become, you know, your white whale at all?
No, we're just trying something new because some tournaments are coming up. And we're just trying to find some new game with Flamey. So that's all, I think.
So it happens that it works out pretty well.
Yeah. I'm wondering if are you guys feeling any different about the way that that the calling is going on your team right now? Because in the Navi style, since the beginning of Global Offensive, and I guess even going back further, it's like this really slow style that Zeus does, where you guys wait around for a really long time. And I mean, suddenly now it seems to be really working. Do you have like an explanation for yourself for why that is? Because I mean, obviously you guys are winning against a bunch of top teams now.
I don't know, but about the slow style, I would say that we're just waiting for the kills because a lot of like top players are like confident enough to go out and kill somebody. So I would say this is the key factor in our play style.
All right.
So I don't know.
You
We're
love
just
to get
trying.
the punish.
Yeah,
It feels
great.
like the reason why we say that is because it feels like now at least Zeus is trying to change that up rather than always round after round be really predictable actually with that, where it's like you're just sitting. You know, it seems like Zeus all of a sudden has started to throw fast rounds in there. And I feel like we saw a little bit of that today where you're trying to change up the pace for the team.
Yeah, because when you are starting to losing some rounds, then you have no idea what to do, and then you have to find out what to do. And if the slow style doesn't work, then he tries to find some fast one, but
All
not
right.
a lot of times working for us.
Last question: Is there any top team right now that you feel like have got you figured out more than others? I mean, you seem to handle Envy pretty well, but is there one of the other top teams right now that you feel like they're pretty hard to play against?
I would say it's Virtus Pro. It's always hard to play them because they most of the time can win the mind game, and that makes us lose the game against them. So I would say it's VP.
All right then. Well, we'll see how that all works out. Great showing tonight from all of you, and obviously congratulations. Any kind of shout out you want to give to any fans or anything? Then now's a good time for it.
Well, thank you for everyone believing in us, and hopefully we showed some good game, and we will not lose any other game tonight.
Tonight, right?
There we
Well, I
go.
mean, if you keep playing like that, Guardian, I don't think you have to worry too much.
We'll see.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. So they do really just like try and wait around for a long time just to hope that someone is going to be confident enough to come and peek them.
So there, I was saying, Envy should go and take the fight and
Yeah.
go for the confidence. I actually think that might have been the solution, regardless, for Envy. That they should have just, started to try and take the fight and get the confidence. But it's such a complex issue at these times when you start to get bogged down. You're just trying to sift through it all, and confidence is such a key factor in it as well. If you're going to go for those kinds of fights where you're like, actually, we know that they're holding these angles, but we're going to take that fight anyway.
It's also because when we come up with suggestions for some of this stuff, we're looking at like, okay, obviously the match being played, but like trying to think about the matches that have been played the past couple of weeks. But we don't know about all the practice games, right? Where they've been trying this against each other and some things work a little bit differently. So, I mean, they obviously know better than we do in that case. But it's still, it obviously was hard for Envy to try and come up with a really good solution for what was being thrown at them. But we do have now for you guys the Play of the Day ready, sponsored by Comhem. And you guys get to vote at the end of the tournament for which one you think is the best one. I almost put money on this being a Guardian play, but let's see what it is.
I hope that they just troll you and like throw something else out there.
I mean, I can't bet anymore, but I'll, Oh, wow.
It's seized with this quad kill. Okay, actually, this is also a key round because this was an eco round essentially coming in from Navi.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. Yeah. This was also a really great one, so I'm not going to complain. But don't worry, guys. If you did think the Guardian one was better, then you'll get to vote for that at the end too. It's not just one clip per day. There's multiple per day, so you get to vote on all of it. But yeah, that was a really sick one as well. I'm not going to disagree. That was a nice sequence.
It's hard to say, man. Sometimes you just like it's not. It doesn't just blur. It's actually just like great round here, great round there. All these great plays, and both teams actually. I mean, on both sides. NBK in particular, got to give him credit for having a really solid night on his part at least.
Edward had a nice clutch 1v2 over at the A bomb side at one point. They handled really well. Just like good technical Counter Strike, like trying to play everything well. So
so much good stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I believe So we'll be back tomorrow night here, 18 CET. This is going to be our only best of 3, but we'll be back at 18 CET on the channel here. 19 CET apparently. Okay, so we're going to be starting at 19 CET tomorrow night. So an hour later than usual, but there you go. Now you guys know. And if you want, follow us on the social media as well to stay up to date with these kinds of updates. If we change the schedule or if there's a change in the maps, etc. It's good to follow on the social media. That way you guys know what's happening. You can also check out Fragbite.com. The Fragbite Masters tab there gets updated with all sorts of articles, etc. around the tournament. So, interviews, etc. Everything goes there. So be sure to check out the sites and the social. But, and check us out as well on Fire Summer and on Fire Anders. But that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. So have a fantastic evening. Go enjoy some more CS, and we'll see you here tomorrow night.